I wanted to also get into federal judge reinstates unconstitutional NDAA and some of the quotes by the lawyers exposing it. I mean, what this does, it allows them to just disappear you into a black hole, anybody. And they're training police and feds for snatch and grabs. They're trying to tell us in these messages and the cop shows that torture's good. They admit the government's paying for that. They're also paying to promote government-run health care in TV shows. Your tax money pays TV networks to put propaganda in the shows. And then you tell the average yuppie that, and they're like, no, that's not going on. That's a conspiracy theory. We live in that type of propaganda state. In fact, guys, the New American has an article about it today on Infowars.com. I never covered it the last 2 days. It actually came out Sunday about paying the networks with taxpayer money to put product placement in the TV shows. You print that for me because it dovetails with this torture stuff. I mean, again, we have a government that pays for them to promote secret arrest and torture like at school and pays to tell you that government-run health care is good. I mean, that's like a Soviet Union or something. I mean, we're bathed, we're basted in evil. I'm going to shut up and go to your calls. Tony, Richie, Zero, Dalton, and others. I think we're having some phone system problems, so keep trying. Tony in New York, you're on the air. Welcome.
How you doing, Naz? Long-time listener, first-time caller.
What's on your mind today?
The question I have for you is, just found out my wife is pregnant. We're against abortion, but with the grown police state, World War III and the collapse of the dollar.
Yeah, your phone's a little muffled. Can you back away from it or talk right into it or something?
Yeah, no problem. Can you hear me good now?
Yeah, try talking right into the receiver, yeah.
All right. I said my wife, we just found out she's pregnant. We're against abortion, but with the grown police state, the collapse of the dollar, and World War III, we're afraid to bring another child into this world.
Well, whatever you do, brother, listen, some of the best children ever are brought into war zones. Don't ever have an abortion. Have that child, and it'll be a special child. Yeah, sir, you're not thinking about having an abortion, are you?
Actually, I'm not. I'm totally against it. My wife's totally against it. But at the same time, we take this very
No, I think the answer in these bad times is to have more children. I have 3. We've been, quite frankly, trying to have more. But there's so much bisphenol A and everything out there. And so there you go. I mean, it's time to have more kids in the face of evil. We shouldn't be afraid of this. We should double down, bet on life, fully commit. I think all patriots should have more children. We need to commit to this. We're going to defeat the tyranny with God's help.
Thank you so much, guys. We were struggling because, I mean, we don't want to bring them into a world.
Sir, I'm going to have to let you go. I just can't understand you. You got to talk right into the telephone, but God bless you. It's good to hear from you. It may be a phone system thing because the phone lines have been down. A few calls were able to get through. Richie in Georgia, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right. First of all, thank you, and God bless you guys. I'm a veteran gun owner and love America and love the American people. I consider myself a nobody. But I would just like to say, Jesus spared my life 8.5 years ago. I don't deserve to be alive, and I'm thankful that he had mercy on me, and he changed me. And I would just like to quickly say that, I believe our problem, one verse in the Bible that sticks out is 2 Thessalonians 2, that says, because you reject the love of the truth, God says, I will send strong delusion that you might believe lies and be damned because you did not receive the love of the truth. And if you look there in 2 Thessalonians 2, I believe that's where America is. We're kicking God out of everything. We want to commit adultery. We want our sin. We want abortion. We want pornography. So I think a lot of the problem is our own fault. It's my sin, and I'm not being hypocritical, acting like it's everybody else, but it's my sin. It's our sin that has created this situation. But on the other hand, trying to be proactive, I met with Jay Neal, one of our representatives last week, and just took a ride with him. He's a great man, a godly man, makes me believe in government. And he pleads the cause of the poor. He helps drug addicts and former drug dealers get on the right path. And I just talked to him, and I said, Jay, And I actually told him about you and introduced him to you, and he's going to investigate you. But I just said, Jay, what can we do? What can the people do?
And what did he say?
And moles have infiltrated the highest levels of intelligence.
And what did he say?
Military. He acted, not acted, Alex, but he just seemed like this thing was just too big.
Alex Jones here with a message that could revolutionize health in this country. Going back about 1.5 years ago, I began to learn about the incredible health effects of Youngevity products. Aaron Dykes lost 92 pounds. We're going to show you some before and afters. Aaron, break down what happened, your story.
I've worked really hard with diet and exercise to try to lose weight, but I just didn't get the results. It just didn't happen. Then I saw what you were doing with InfoWarsTeam.com. I wasn't even trying to lose weight, but I got it because I wanted to feel better energy. I wanted that nutrition. Didn't even understand how that could kickstart my own weight loss goals, but the products did that for me. I found myself suddenly losing weight, more energetic, wanting to exercise, wanting to eat the right foods.
And they don't even advertise it as weight loss. I want to challenge our radio listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com, sign up as a distributor, and get wholesale pricing discounts at InfoWarsTeam.com. I can go to a public place, like a restaurant, and watch tables around me. And I can look in somebody's eyes, I've actually done this, and go over and say to them, you don't watch television a lot, do you? Mainline television. They're like, no, I don't. In fact, I don't have a television. I have a computer and watch some things on that, but it's there to steal your life away, to brainwash you. And then I could sit there and listen to somebody at a table next to me and hear what they say and do and look in their eyes and say, hey, what's your favorite show? And they'll start telling you how they watch 7 hours of TV a day, 3 hours of video games a day. And I'm not judging you if you do that. And it's another thing entirely. You've got a bunch of TV sets on. You're a media person. You're monitoring things. And you're in a conscious mode. But everybody's seen their husband, their wife, their children watching television where they have that zombie look. And you're like, hey, we got to go. And they're in a trance. Medically, the general public is very close to a daydream state, into the edge of sleep. And it's everywhere. People are not conscious. They're spectators from birth being set in front of television sets that are tuned with the flicker rate to put you into a highly suggestible state. And I look at people in different degrees, myself included, who are in these different states of awareness, and it's incredible. And for the global crime syndicate operators, basically it's like we're going in slow motion, they can run 100 miles an hour. They're the Flash. They know how things work, they understand the tricks, they know how to manipulate us, and it's funny to them, and they've dumbed us down and put poison in the water and the food to make us even more malleable so they could take over, and they have. I talked about that court ruling last week. ABC News reported it. You can type in the search engine, court rules, that police can bar high IQs. Nationwide, they won't hire a cop with over 100 IQ. They're, quite frankly, looking for about an 85 IQ. 85, folks, is stupid. Very stupid. 70's mentally retarded. So, it's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. We are to be ruled by a bunch of idiots, by a bunch of scientific technocrats up there with 180 IQs. And humanity, I don't claim to be the smartest person around, but I've got instincts, and I don't like being a slave. And I figured out how these people work. And I'm sitting here watching them with their playbook, cheat everybody, and basically stick their leg out when you're walking by and trip you over and over again and laugh about it. And the public's been dumbed down to the point that the globalists trip them, and they don't even know why they got tripped, even though the leg's sticking out. And I'm just tired of it. I've had enough, and I'm not here saying the cops are all a bunch of idiots either. In the old days, they tried to hire people that were smart. This is in the last 20 years, they want stupid police. And they said, well, they'll follow orders. That's right. I've run into it, man, I tell you, with these game wardens. The last 3 times I was trying to camp out or even go have a fire on my own property in East Texas, where I've been going since I was born and never had this happen. And every time game wardens jump out of the bushes and you'll be sitting there drinking a cup of coffee, you're not even hunting, and they're in your face and wanting to see a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, I told the story, and I'm going to go to your calls, of my great uncle, Uncle Leonard, who, you know, when I was like 5 years old, I'd fly out and see in Houston and stuff. Really great guy, my grandfather's little brother. And he had pancreatic cancer, and they said he had a few months to live, and he did die. And he even had trouble walking at that point, but he wanted to go deer hunting again just to do that. And driving into town to process the deer because he didn't want to gut it and stuff. They've got the deer feet sticking out the back of the, I mean, you know, the bed's open, there's a deer there. It's got a tag on its antler, everything, and the state police pull him over. Oh, that's a deer, you must be bad, you have a deer. And so, guy runs over and says, whose deer is this? And my uncle's not there because he's too sick to go. And my great uncle and my uncle says, along with my dad, it's our uncle's. We're taking it to get it processed right here. Get turned into, you know, steaks and stuff. And the state police guy is shaking and starts getting his gun out. And as you stay here, and more police get there and everything. And he goes, I'm taking you to jail. You're not allowed to transfer somebody else's deer. And, of course, he's an idiot. Probably got an 80 IQ. And they say, no, Texas law, the landowner can process the deer. And more police showed up. And we're like, oh, you're the Joneses. Oh, like, you know, one of the oldest families in that area. Oh, we're sorry. No, he's right. They're allowed to transfer the deer. But if they weren't, you know, connected to good old boys of old, they still took him to jail. Probably pistol whipped him the way he was acting, and the jury probably put him in prison. Doesn't matter if there's a law. I see folks go to jail all the time. There's not even a law. These judges are so demonic. They'll sit there and lie to the jury and just make something up and convict you for something else. I said I'd go to your calls. I'm actually loathing even going to East Texas. The reason I'm telling this story, just because it's so bad there. I don't even want to be around them. And I was thinking about if I'm confronted by them, I'm just going to go, I'm not going to dress them down. I can't put up with their evil anymore. I can't put up with the weakness. And I can't put up with the groveling to the scum government anymore. Just a scum government everywhere. Scum. I hate you. I hate all the low IQ dummies who want to rule my life because you're idiots. Because you couldn't go start a business. You couldn't live your own life. You couldn't get a woman. You couldn't get nothing but try to suck off me. And we're going to beat you, you trash. Don't you ever think you won't. We're going to beat you. Don't you ever think you're going to win. Bunch of, man, it's going to be bad living under tyranny, folks. They got their re-education camps. They got their pot-belly pedophiles ready to get your wife and children. They want to torture and murder you. They want to steal everything you got, and they will. They're arming up against us right now. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Man, I just can't even be around it anymore. And I'm sick of the public, too. I'm tired of the public groveling to bureaucrats, groveling to police, groveling to everything. Stop groveling. Stop it. Get a backbone. Stop groveling constantly. Stop being cowards. Zero in Iowa. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Alex?
I'm not doing too good. I'm having flashbacks. Go ahead.
Yeah. I got 2 things for you real quick. First, I got to say thank you. You have helped me open the minds of many people. I've been saying for years I didn't trust our government farther than I could throw them. And everybody thought I was crazy till I found you and introduced them to your shows, to your videos. And it's just helped my family tons.
Well, thank you for putting up with me. Just that the broadcast is real, so it's going to have its bumps. But go ahead.
Hey, I love it. I love it. I look forward to it every day. The next thing, I got a question for you. I got to throw this out there. I've noticed all the stuff in the Middle East and Iran and yada yada. My thought is, the globalists are looking to start stuff over there and then a race war here. If you listen to
no, that's what they're doing. Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly what they're trying.
I have pulled my family. We're pretty much off the grid now. We grow our own food. We raise our animals, and I'm trying to get us farther away from any population. You know, and why? Why do they do this? You know.
The globalists love to wreck stuff. They love to bring down societies while they sit back offshore watching our funeral pyre, and then they roll back in as the saviors. They wreck every country. Libya was building up all of Africa, so they went and bombed the whole thing and put al-Qaeda in. The globalists are anti-industry, anti-freedom, anti-wealth. They don't just want the wealth. They don't want you to have it. They want you starving and dumbed down so they can fly over you. They call it flyover country. What do you think of them demonizing the fact that Mitt Romney said that, you know, it's dangerous to have half the public on the government payroll?
That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, anybody in their right mind can see they can see the truth. That's what they want. They want us to have to depend on them. You know, I refuse, no matter how hard times have been, I refuse to get any handouts from any government because I don't want it.
There are all sorts of tinkerers. It's almost always, and I appreciate your call, God bless you. You know, and by the way, the system harasses them. Illegal aliens are above the law, left alone, get out of jail free card. But if you had to typecast these people, they're generally, most of them are white, some are black, some are Hispanic. But you have to typecast them. It's an old, if you have to assess them, it's about 60-year-old white Vietnam veteran in a half broke down work van who lives in their van and doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, goes to church 3 nights a week, who drives around fixing people's hot water heaters and fences and tinkerers. And the cops everywhere, all over the country, harass them and arrest them and give them tickets and won't let them park their van and sleep and chase them around until they're homeless. And I've talked to so many of these homeless. I'll go, you're not on drugs. You're not, you know, you don't look like you're schizophrenic. What's your story? Well, I'm from, you know, Vietnam veteran, and then I had a truck, but it kept breaking down, and they kept arresting me, so now I work over here when I can get jobs. This place takes me on mowing yards, and I live back there in a tent. But the drunk hobos keep robbing me. It's always the same story. I mean, it's just so pathetic what they've done to this country. And there are hundreds of thousands of these people conservatively who literally are working homeless. And the system knows who they are, and the police, I've seen them, just come in at them, boy. Some old man in a van, your life's over, punk. You're not gonna live in that van, you scum. We're driving you to the woods. We're driving you in there. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you, American scum, if it's the last thing we ever do. And they are. It's their country now. Let's go ahead and talk to Dalton in Alabama. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, thanks for taking my call. I was really hoping to actually get Ted Anderson's take on the question that I have, but I'll ask it anyway.
I'll tell you what, if Ted's still around there, get him in the studio. John Harmon, try to find him. Go ahead and ask your question.
Well, I was just wondering, you know, I understand and I realize that buying gold and silver is one of the best ways to you know, have protection against the coming economic collapse. But what about us who are working, you know, these low-wage and minimum-wage jobs who are living paycheck to paycheck? You know, we barely have $20 in our pocket at any given time. What would your advice be for us? What can we do to, you know, be ready for the economic collapse?
I would have water filtration, and I would have friends. The most valuable thing, more than gold or anything, is friends that know what's going on, who will support each other. You know, the government will call it a terrorist militia, even though it's federal law to have militias. But I would just form mutual aid societies. And, I mean, the system doesn't want us to be able to stand together. We have a UT professor saying families should be gotten rid of. I mean, that's in the textbooks, too. But, I mean, folks, they don't want us having anybody. They just want us to grow old. They want to euthanize us. They want to be able to kill babies even after they're born. I mean, it is just hell on earth with these people. These people are evil, man. But of course they're evil. They never made anything. They never did anything. They just sit on top of us, sucking off of us. And out of all the bureaucrats, I say the police are the best, because at least they have to live in the real world and actually engage in some services. The real bad ones are these professors and these bureaucrats and these government workers and these corporate mercenaries, and all of them. They think it's so funny. They think they're on the winning team. You know, I mean, silver, look, I bought most of the silver I've got. I don't have that much, quite frankly. My wife's always like, why? I told you, you were right. You need to follow your own rules, get more gold and silver. And I'm like, well, I need the cash we've got in the bank to run this operation. If everything shuts down, I'm going to spend all that money running this place, and then I'm going to sell my house running this place. And I've got it all planned out, because it'll probably get so bad that people won't be able to support us anymore. And I'll try to stay on air as long as possible. Silver is probably the best investment. It's just hard to store. I don't even have that much, but like 4 big bags is really hard to deal with. And I bought most of it at $5. You know, I didn't sell it when it went to 50. And I haven't sold it now that it's, you know, going towards 40 again. It's my emergency backup. And I bought quite a bit of gold, you know, not that much, but quite a bit for me at the time, back when it was like 260, 300, 400, 500. And, you know, it just really worked, because it's not even an investment for me. It's to beat their inflation. And it's an emergency backup. But I think just your health is the most valuable thing. Well, your soul's important, so get right with God. Then your health, then friends, and people that can count on each other. That's why they want us all watching television all day, so we have synthetic friends, you know, with the people on the sitcoms we watch, on shows like Friends. They don't want us having real friends. So it's very important to not be reclusive, because freedom lovers a lot of times end up kind of being reclusive. And I've always been somewhat, not in modern times, more recent times, I've been a little bit reclusive. So I've been trying to be more social with friends and people. That's important to do. And it's just important to be human, to get back to what it is to be human, where men are men, women are women. And just, you know, just that is victory. The enemy wants to get rid of that. Does that answer your question?
Sure does. Sounds like it's a hang together or hang separate situation.
It is. So I would find like-minded people. You know, it's a pitch to support the show, but if you wear an Infowars.com shirt, or even a Ron Paul shirt, you know, you're going to meet like-minded people. You might meet kind of some neocons that are halfway awake with the Ron Paul stuff. You never know. But, I mean, you wear an Infowars.com shirt, you know, the enemies are going to know who you are, but the patriots are as well. It's pretty much like flying your flag, wearing your colors. Ted's back. We only got 1 minute. This fellow was asking, if you don't have a lot of money, what do you invest in? And I was telling him, invest in friends and family and in relationships, Ted.
Yeah, and become self-sufficient. I mean, start a garden, do those things. This book in Silver Dollar Offer gives you a way to get into silver dollars without having to spend a tremendous amount of money. It's very important, to me at least, that I'm armed and I have ammunition. Storable foods is a good idea. If you don't have a lot of money, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. You're creative. It's your wealth is actually your creativity and your ability to be productive. So go out and do some things that people want and build up, the ability.
Here's the deal. If you don't have children especially, make work fun. I mean, I've had 3 jobs before. I mean, make it fun. Make it like, I remember my grandparents, people, old folks, farmers, those guys like to work. I mean, it was like a game to just really bust your butt. Alex Jones here with a very important announcement for truth seekers. We've carried a lot of amazing films and books over the years on the online video bookstore at Infowars.com. And out of all the titles we've carried, one stands out because it is just so chillingly convincing. And that's Dreams from My Real Father by Joel Gilbert, available at Infowars.com. This film exposes the fraud that Obama is like nothing I've seen. If you want to know who Obama's real daddy is, this is the film for you. Don't forget, your purchase supports our broadcast and our growing media network. You'll also find at InfoWarsShop.com, None Dare Call a Conspiracy by Gary Allen, the book that woke me up. We're also carrying Behind the Green Mask, You in Agenda 21 by Rosa Corey. This book is coffin nails to the globalist takeover. The Greater Good The most professional and up-to-date film I've ever seen exposing the scourge that is vaccines. These titles and a lot more are all available at InfoWarsShop.com. We need to get angry. We need to find our dignity again. I mean, when I watch citizens just bow down to bureaucrats, bow down to census people with plastic badges, a TSA, all of it is the opposite of freedom. Our country's dying. Our world's dying. We're being overrun by spoiled brat criminals that have joined forces with the kleptocratic parasite class. And I for one, am done. I hope that caller liked Ted running back to the microphone to give you his take, but it's basically the same thing I was telling you. It's not fun to work 3 jobs, but if you've got to get in a position to be able to protect yourself in hard times, you'll be better off than others. I certainly would not be sitting on my laurels right now. And I know it's rough. I know it's tough. Citizens are going to probably have to start doing what illegal aliens do. And that is, even though the system knows we're to be henpecked as citizens and that we're trash, it's going to have to get to the point where we just stop complying. Just out of necessity. And a lot of people are stopping paying taxes across the board. A lot of people are stopping to buy all the stuff. A lot of people are just refusing to go along with it. I mean, here's Fox News, ICE agents. Obama won't let us arrest illegals. I've had sheriffs on where they arrest illegals with weapons, with drugs. They're told to be, to release them. That was during Bush. Again, it's a 2-tiered system. They've only got the illegals here to drive down the wages. Again, it's lawless, but then the cops are so like attack dogs on us, and because we're known as the milk cow, we're known as the joke, we're known as the food, and message to government: I ain't your food. Message to government: I'm not scared of you. Message to government: I'm not going along with you anymore. Matt in North Carolina, you're on the air. Welcome, sir.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Worldwide broadcast. What's on your mind, bud?
Look, you're wrong about the Federal Reserve Charter, Alex. It's open-ended now. They changed it at some point. So the only way that we can get rid of the Federal Reserve legally is if Congress abolishes it or if they commit an illegal act.
No, you're right, but I know that Ron Paul's pointed out that the 100th anniversary of the charter is a good time to point out that its charter's up. So it's really apples and oranges, it's debating. My point is, we've had it 100 years. Yes, we can get rid of it any time. Congress should take back its power. That's what I was saying.
Absolutely. But now, Alex, the only way we're going to get rid of the Federal Reserve is if the people move out of the fiat currency by themselves. And that means start, bartering in gold and silver.
And that's why they're going after the farms. They hate these co-ops where people get together, especially. It scares them that yuppies are now learning how good organic food is in co-ops. That's why they're coming after it. You're right. They're scared of us bartering. They're scared of us acting like real humans.
So they don't want you to be independent. And that's what the country's all about, is being independent.
Exactly. The country is about being independent. If you want to be taken care of so much they put you in a forced labor camp, go to North Korea. I mean, what's your message to all these people that think we should be slaves of the government?
Well, once they try it, they won't want it anymore. Once you become a slave, you won't like it so much. And that's that.
What's your view on the state of the world right now?
We're in bad shape, Bo. We're in real bad shape. These people, they think they deserve this. They think they deserve the world. Why? Because they can. Because nobody out there is doing anything. If you're going to sit on your laurels, you're going to get taken over. That's just how the world works.
That's right. You're absolutely right. I've gotten to the point now when yuppies shoot their mouth off to me or try to boss me around, I get right back in their face. Not because I even want it, but because it's the right thing to do.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
I've been kind of throwing a fit here on air today some because I mourn the pitiful state of our country. I'm upset about it when I see people not doing well. And then I run into these trendies who think it's funny when people are doing bad.
You'll take my life, but I'll take yours too.
And I see us just overrun by criminals, idiots, and slime balls. And I'm just getting tired of it. And I'm tired of people that think there's not a cost for what they do. I was walking into a business just the other night. I was meeting my wife and children for a movie. And there's this big line for some other movie, and I saw a listener, and I was shaking his hand as I came to the doors. The line was backed up, and this lady said, hey, the line's over there. And I said, oh, great, I was just shaking this fellow's hand. She goes, hey, the line's over there. And I was like, well, all right. And then her boyfriend, her husband, was kind of doing like this at me. And I went, hey, I just told you, I just walked in. We're not cutting, ma'am. We're just going to go over there. I kind of sounded like, you know, the sheriff in Mayberry. That's how I try to act. And she just looked at me with hate. And I said, you know what? You're going to answer my question. I told you repeatedly I'm going to get in the line. I'm not even going to the movie you've got. In fact, I've already got my tickets. My wife printed them. She's over there. I'm not going to see The Princess and the Bride like you're going to see it. I see that's what you're in line for. And then they turned around. I went, hey, you wanted to bug your eyes out at me because you're 6'4", pal, and I'm 5'10", 5'11". I said, turn around. And the guy turned around and he's like, mister, we just want to, yeah, you want to act like a man, but not back it up. And then people are like, oh, please don't. And I'm like, you know, and I went outside, changed clothes so it didn't make a scene. Somebody noticed me and went in and saw the movie. But, I mean, you know, 3 times you got in my face, man. 3 times. You want to get in a fight? You think you're big and tough? 3 times. 3. This isn't a game. All of you. I bet that guy's a government worker. I bet he's one of these people that wants to push it and push it and push it. You need to stop pushing it. All of you. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of your wife trying to henpeck me. I'm sick of ninnies trying to run my life. I'm ranting. I'm sorry. I am mourning this country's death right now, and I'm angry. I wish you people that wanted to protect lines, or you're mad at the neighbor because their dog went to the bathroom, I wish you'd get as mad about this government as you did about that. I wish you'd get mad about what's going on in this world and the cancer viruses and the vaccines and the fluoride water. I wish you'd get mad about all the boondoggles. But you won't do that. You'll get mad at your fellow humans. I mean, you got to understand, too. I said I'd go back to the calls. I'm just out of time here. I apologize, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm back. I'm angry because these people get angry over nothing. I mean, you come in glass doors, somebody shakes your hand, you're not even in the people's line, and they want to narrow their eyes at you and look at you with teeth-grinding hate. And some guy wants to bow up to somebody for nothing. For nothing. And then you won't do anything for your country or anything for people around you. You think all these instincts for violence and everything are like show. You think all these instincts and everything God gave us is about acting tough. I'm just so tired of it. And I'm in over my head. I've said that a lot. I didn't sign on to this to be, the main spokesman against the globalist or anything. And I don't think I'm up to it. But you know what? We are all dealt the hand we're given, and we've all got to do what we got to do. But I'm tired of being shoved around. I'm tired of being pushed around. And people say, hey, get along, go along, do what you're told. That delivers slavery. That delivers enslavement. That delivers bondage. That delivers absolute hell. This thing where everybody's supposed to be effeminate, the women are supposed to be weak, the men are supposed to be weak-kneed. I will not be part of any of this jellyfish culture. It's time to rediscover humanity, rediscover your strength, and say no to evil. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.